Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. How's everybody doing tonight? It's going to be a good time. We got a hell of a show coming up. We got Chris Howard coming up in just a few minutes. We may or may not have Allie. Allie is working at a veterans event this evening, so she might tune in or she might not. We're not positive yet. I hope she does because, man, it's been a hell of a week in the veteran community. I mean, so for those that don't know, when everything okay there, Joe? For those that don't know, we spend all week going back and forth with text messages and Facebook messages and sharing ideas and, you know, building this show. It takes the whole week, and we share all kinds of stupid little stuff. We couldn't decide this week because there's so much bullshit going on that we couldn't come up with a single story to talk about. It's been insane. Rock, how's your week been?
It's been all right. Spending time with the grandbaby. Can't complain.
Yeah, you're saying water park? I love that. That is so awesome. Water park, you know. I've been a water park since we lived in San Antonio, Texas. So, and I think my wife is going to. You ever been to Great Wolf Lodge?
Yeah.
Any good?
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
No, I don't. No, I despise children.
Listen, that is like the ghetto of water parks.
Is it?
East St. Louis of water parks.
We're gonna get so fucking sued. I can't wait. So I guess yes, you have been there. Why is it ghetto? Is it like cigarette butts floating down the lazy river kind of thing?
It's like 1,000 kids like in this little kiddie pool, and it's people fighting over the chairs. There's not enough of anything. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it was definitely one of the most, for the money you spend. It is not like, I don't know, maybe it's the one we went to, maybe it was, you know, the time of year. I don't know. Worst experience of my life. I'd rather play in a freaking hot piss pool out in the backyard than go to the Great Wolf again.
See, and you and I agree on a lot of things, but you like kids. And so to hear you say that.
I like my granddaughter, some of her friends. That's, you know, I don't like my own kids.
Yeah, me either. I don't like mine either. No, I get it. What do you go? Well, you're doing better than I am because I don't have grandkids. So basically, as a rule, I just despise all children. Hot piss pool is the favorite comment. See, our listeners are extremely predictable, and I like that. The hot piss pool. What do you call it? Holy shit, what a week. Hots and Cots with this fucking, with the food at NTC. Are you tracking all this?
Yeah, I saw the menu, I saw the pictures. I looked at that memo they sent out with it briefly, but I was like, I don't know. I kind of ignored it at that point.
Oh yeah, just waste.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it almost looked like clickbait. And then when you read the article, it sounds like clickbait, like 100%. I'm like, you're not telling me anything. You're not telling me how you're fixing anything. You're just saying this is what happened.
Oh, the memo that they put out. Yeah. Well, we admit that Hey, that dude got 2 pieces of cake. What the hell? So is it all that? I mean, it looks like the same food you and I ate in Hohenfels in 1999.
It probably came from the same package, honestly.
It could be the same food.
They found a box hidden in the back of the freezer and was like, hey, let's cook this stuff
up. Well, you were a supply guy. I mean, isn't food your jam? Isn't this beans and bullets?
No,
Isn't this your jam?
We would go to the DFAC, pick it up, and then deliver it wherever, and then be like, all right, see you chuckleheads later. Then we go back and eat what the DFAC guys were eating, which wasn't that good.
What the fuck is that? A cinnamon roll and 2 pieces of bacon? And this is for soldiers that are training?
That is actually a meal fit for a king. Who gets a cinnamon roll and bacon? I'm not going to complain. You give me, that's all you give me? I don't have no powdered ass eggs. Oh, we're good. Let's roll. Cinnamon roll and bacon. I'm on point.
Wrap the bacon around the cinnamon roll. Find yourself a can of chili out of your rucksack.
So it's just a little bit healthy.
That's hysterical, dude. But that's the same shitty cinnamon rolls that we got in 19. I mean, nothing about Army food has changed in 30 years. That's awesome.
MREs have changed. They put a lot of money into those things.
Yeah, and chemicals and all that other shit. Oh, I love this. You brought this one in. I love this one. National Guard Major rents hotel room on the government's dime just to hide his second wife, prosecutors say. This is the greatest story. I would have never heard of this if not for Rocky. Rocky, you got to tell, what did you say the guy found a wife in like Mongolia?
This major meets this chick on deployment, brings her back to the States on a tourist visa, tells her he's divorced, marries her in Mongolia or wherever it was, brings her back and is supporting her on his government travel card. I was like, how in the hell, like, did you think this was okay? Then when he gets her back to the States, he marries her, but he's already married. I'm like, well, I guess that's one way so your wife never finds out you're spending money on this chick. Put it on your government travel card.
Look, we've all been there. I mean, we've all done it. We all get it. I mean, we've all had a second family that we've raised on the government travel card. Look, how about a little bit of leniency for the poor guy? I mean, we've all been there.
He is in the National Guard. We'll give him a little credit.
So you get it. So a couple things from this story. A, we have National Guard deployed to Mongolia.
I guess that's.
How do I get on this deployment? I'd love to go to Mongolia. Well, I mean, not an issue for me anymore, but I had no idea we had National Guard troops going to Mongolia.
Yeah.
What is our government doing with the National Guard in Mongolia?
I have no idea, but was in.
Besides
Mongolia.
having second families.
Yeah, bringing. That's. Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised about that too. I was like, this dude was deployed in Mongolia. What's he doing? Where is he staying? It's like, what is this? Like, it doesn't tell much about what his job was or anything like that. So,
and was he? You said he was a major?
Yeah,
that dude's absolutely a company commander.
Oh, my bad. He was at the U.S. Embassy in Mongolia.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was at the embassy. Oh.
I guess that checks somewhat. Yeah. What do you call it? Next week, we have on my buddy Cole and my buddy Jimmy with Comeback Yoga. They're going to talk all about yoga for veterans. This week, we have on Chris Howard. He's going to talk all about jiu-jitsu for veterans. I feel like we're covering a lot of bases on this show. Hitting a lot. I mean, that's a pretty broad spectrum. So... you ever done yoga?
With you one time. No, I've done yoga. It's very difficult. Like, actual yoga is hard.
If you do it's not meant to be easy, but yeah.
It's difficult. It is.
Joe, you do yoga at all? You're married to a girl that does yoga and shit like that, aren't you? That dude walked away. Show's on its own now.
In my personal opinion, once you reach like 220 or above, you shouldn't be doing yoga anymore. That's just not an acceptable way to stretch. Because then it's just dangerous at that point.
You could have a catastrophe. Michael King is here. Well, that's awesome. Do you ever meet Sergeant Major King?
I don't think so.
So he made this for me. So after he got out, he does art. And so he made this. This is a light switch broken in the on position.
Okay.
And it's signed by him and dated and whatnot. And when he handed it to me, he said, it's because you're always on for veterans. I was like, dude, that is awesome. Thanks, Mike.
That's
So
pretty cool.
one of my favorite pieces of art hangs in my office. No, I'll have to hang it up after the show now because it's going to fall over, but that's a whole other conversation. In the meantime, I can't even see a clock. What time are we at? Oh, we're only at 6:10. Perfect. Because there's so much more to talk about. What were some of the other broken switch? Hey, Marty's here too. Marty, the MRP party. Glad you're here. What's some of the other Carls we had? We had a couple of different Carls that we wanted to talk about. We got the guy from Mongolia, Hots and Cots. There was just so much stupid shit that went on in the last week that there's just so much to talk about. I can't keep it all organized anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. Here, let's go to this. What do you call it? Oh, wow. Well, there's a lot of messages. What was the other one? Some of the other good ones. Ladies and gentlemen, we are syndicated right now on Heroes Media Group and WTF Radio. So thank you very much for all them. Did you figure out StreamYard? We did not figure out StreamYard. Their customer service is absolutely awful. I sent them the complaint and told them, like, hey, we do this radio show. It keeps kicking people off the show. What the heck? And they're like, would you like to upgrade your account? No, you jackasses. I'd like you to fix what the problem is.
We know we suck, but do you want to give us some more money?
Yeah, I was like, that is awesome. Let's see here. This is the fourth ID one. I love this one. This comes from our friends at U.S. Army WTF Moments. And it's a text message that goes out clearly from a first sergeant to the entire company. When you get home, regardless of main body, no one will have a 4-day. You will get a late call, but the expectation is that you work the next day. For those of you trying to play stupid, here's an example. We will continue to have 4 formations a day that rear diastat. 4 formations a day? Holy shit.
Sounds legit to me.
Right. This is why we were never sergeant majors. Stop babying the soldiers. They are grown men and women. We have bad soldiers in the company and bad leadership, apparently. I want them out of the formation. I will speak with the platoon sergeants offline. Bottom line, I'm disappointed in the NTC performance. Yeah, I'll bet you are. And our overall behavior. That's why no one is getting an award for this rotation. What? I'll bet every major and above got something. Platoon sergeants' discipline needs to be increased, and if we need to fire team leaders and squad leaders, let me know. We have shown that we are better than this. Have you? Have you shown that? I'm going to say probably not. Based on the food I saw from 4th ID, I'm going to say, nah, probably not. Did you know that it took a specialist sending a picture of the food that he was eating from the NTC DFAC? This is 4th ID, same people that wrote this text message, sending it to his congressman. And it took a congressional investigation to find out why the food was so fucked up. Because they're taking these soldiers, what do they call them? Separate rats. What are those? BAH, BAS? Something? BAS. Yeah. They're taking this soldier's money and then giving him a fucking cinnamon roll and a hunk of bacon. What the hell does that say? Oh, yeah, Jeff. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the article or the memo from the. Yeah. And like we talked about, he ain't doing shit.
Well, that's why their performance was bad. They were eating cinnamon rolls and bacon the whole time.
No shit. Trying to fight with OPFOR.
They had steak dinners. So,
it just cracks me up that it looks exactly like the same food that you and I ate 30 years ago. It just cracks me up to absolutely no end. Nothing changed. And the sergeant major sent out the email, hit the text message. Nobody's getting an award for this rotation. Aw, are we feeling a little butthurt, Sergeant Major? You want to talk it through? Where's the mix of the chow? We'll scroll through those pics for you, Marty. Don't you worry. Yeah, that is, I mean, that right there, that ain't terrible. I don't know what that blob of brown shit in the center is there, but I mean, that's not terrible. That's
Army cakes on there. I mean, shoot, who doesn't want 2 little coffee cakes?
Oh boy, I got 2 slices of cake. Speaking as a fat kid, I'm jealous. My platoon sergeant would never let me get a second piece of cake. I mean, yeah, that is. They took $240 away from that soldier for his food, and that's what they fed him. That is, I mean, whatever. What is separate rats these days? Is it like, you would know? What is?
Why would I know? I don't know.
What does the good sergeant get for BAS?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't ask him his money. I don't ask him his money woes. It's like,
because we got what, it was $240 for us or something like that.
Something. I think his is just over $3 right now.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're taking more money from them while they're
taking more. They're getting the same stuff. So,
what do you think, man? You ready to talk to Chris?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Oh, you sound thrilled about it.
I'm very thrilled.
Chris, hit the mute button.
How's it going?
You're muted.
All right.
There it is.
There you go. Chris, how's it going,
you
buddy?
Should be pissed. What the fuck? That dude's like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Rocky, it's great seeing you. It's been a while. We need to get you back out here to Arizona.
Oh, anytime. It was a great time. So
absolutely. And I think you did yoga at our retreat when you were there.
Yeah, I did. You had that girl doing yoga, and she, like I told Rob, people over 220 should not do real yoga. Now, I give Rob a hard time because his comeback yoga that he does, it's very much a laying on the floor, let's move our legs here or there. Not too much. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not doing that hard shit. People are nuts.
Yeah, we have.
I actually do a headstand, but I don't like to.
We actually had another guy out doing yoga at our last retreat. They call him Nogi Yogi, and he was pretty intense. It was like bam, 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 and you're doing all these different poses, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'm not down with that type of yoga. I have done it. I accidentally walked into there's a place right here called Peace Out Yoga, and they had this like 11 o'clock in the morning yoga class. I go into it, and as soon as I walked in, I'm like, what the hell, man? It is warm in here. And they just kept turning up the temperature. And by the end of the class, I was a fat puddle on the floor, man. I was like, holy shit. Never again. I don't know how people do hot yoga. All right, Chris, let's talk about you.
Absolutely. What do you want to know?
Talk about Veterans Breakthrough, Chris. Give us the lowdown.
Veterans Breakthrough. Yeah, no, absolutely. So Veterans Breakthrough, this, I was actually talking to one of my board members today. 6 years ago, this was just an idea. And it was really, how do I help veterans get from where they are to where they want to be? And it wasn't so much derived towards the, veterans that are facing challenges with PTSD or suicidal or anything like that. It was any veteran across the board. But how do we get them from point A to point B? And a lot of my journey after the military is actually, I went into personal growth. I was one that dove into this, really started understanding personal growth, personal development, reading books. And I say this because I never read a book cover to cover until I was in Iraq. I was at the age of 30, and I read a book called Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And it really opened up my mind to really understand there's so much more out there that we can do and have in life. We just have to find it. And, I look back at this, and a lot of what we learn in life come from our parents or those around us, our loved ones, our friends in the military, whatever. And until we get new information, we don't know what to do with it or what to do different. And so I dove into this personal growth mentality and started applying it a lot in my life after I got back from Iraq. And I started excelling a lot in my career. And I went from being a contractor at Northcom to a GS-12 employee making really good money. And I was like, wow, this stuff really works. But very fast, I found myself unhappy again in life. And I'm like, this crap doesn't work. So what it really was is I was chasing what I thought I should have. right? I was chasing a career. I was chasing money. I was chasing all these things that everybody else around me wanted, but I wasn't chasing what I wanted. I wasn't dealing with the things that I needed to deal with within. So this really led in this journey and these ups and downs. And fast forward to 2019, I went to one of these Tony Robbins events. And if you know me before, I was more of an introvert. I like going to one of these events. People, I like drinking Kool-Aid, jumping up and down. It's like a big rave party at these educational events for Tony Robbins. I'm like, this just isn't my scene. But I went to this event, and when he was starting to share this information, it really impacted me. So I signed up for more of his events, and I remember it was 2019. I went to this event called Date with Destiny, and the way I can explain it is, you go through your entire life. It's a week-long class, and it's not just a couple hours here and there. It's 15-hour days, and if you've ever seen any of Tony's events, it's your high level intensity the whole way through this thing. And I wasn't tired at the end of these days. I was sitting down, coming home, taking notes, what do I need to change in my life? What the best way to explain this course was break down every wall in your life, from your health to your wealth to family to whatever you want to change in your life. We broke these walls down and said, how do I want to build it up now? And it really blew my mind to truly see this as, I had all these blueprints in my brain of how life should be, but it was based on what I saw around me. So once I realized, like, hey, I can create whatever I want it to be. What is that? Life started to like really change. And I was like, man, this is what veterans need to have. A lot of there's a lot of amazing programs out there for veterans. And I feel a lot of it is more, they're already, shit deep in a certain situation, and they don't know how to get out of it. But how do we proactively help them see they don't even have to get to there? They can change it before they get there. So that was the concept behind Veterans Breakthrough. At this event, I'm like, I made this goal. I'm going to start this nonprofit. Give me a year was my goal that I put. I got this big board. I should have grabbed it out, but this big poster board that I did there, and Veterans Breakthrough was one of the goals. And I had a year goal timeline, and that was December of 2019, and Veterans Breakthrough started in February 2020. So it just accelerated where I was going. I said, how do I do this? How do I learn what he's teaching? I ended up becoming a coach for Tony Robbins' organization. I went through all his entire training program. I was a coach there for a year, getting to coach people from all walks of life, from different countries, ones that, were struggling with life, to ones that were multi-billion-dollar companies. And, it was one of those things for me. I'm like, how am I even here? Like, how am I coaching a billionaire on what you should do with business? I'm not a billionaire. I don't have the money. I don't have that knowledge even. But what I learned a lot from Tony's organization is it's not. We go to jiu-jitsu. It's not about these big fancy moves. It's about the basics. And once we can understand the basics of the human mind and how to come to decisions, you can help guide this billionaire through how he's going to retire and sell off his business. So I started to really gain a lot of confidence in myself of how I can help people. And I was like, this is what we need to bring to veterans, to veterans all over. Veterans Breakthrough didn't start off with the jiu-jitsu side. It actually started off more of a, how do we help veterans grow, right? Personal growth, kind of that idea. And there wasn't a lot of momentum with it, unfortunately. And during COVID happened as well, kind of maybe stunt the growth a little bit. But I started working with a lot of the different organizations here. I said, I'll coach whatever veteran you have, whatever issue they have, I'll offer free coaching through basically the same thing I did with Tony Robbins' organization. I just want to help veterans. And that kind of grew over that period of time. And then shortly after that, 2021, I got into jiu-jitsu myself. And I was like, Tony always talks about how we can use different tools. And he talks a lot about our state of being, right? That like how we just get out and move, right? And I think a lot of veterans kind of deal with that, is where they kind of go into a shell. They don't have their battle buddy next to them that they're serving with wherever it is, or off in war. and they don't have anybody to kind of brainstorm with. So they kind of go deeper into a shell. Well, jiu-jitsu is that way to break them out of that shell. Let's go push ourselves and grow ourselves within. And it started to realize like, this is just giving people purpose. That's our big slogan, live with purpose. I think a lot of times we go through life and we don't truly live every day with purpose. It's about making sure we're growing ourselves each and every day, making ourselves better. And that was the big focus around Veterans Breakthrough.
So I'm going to tell a quick story. So I met Chris through Facebook. I was scrolling on Facebook one day and I see this link for a tournament. And I'm like, oh, what's this tournament? Because they put on tournaments. And I was like, oh. And so I click on the link and it takes me to the Veterans Breakthrough link. So I started reading through it and I was like, oh, they do life coaching. I was like, well, I'm overqualified to help with that. I was like, no worries. I was like, oh, and they do jiu-jitsu. Oh, I'm overqualified to help with that. I was like, and I really started getting behind what he was doing. That's why I reached out to Chris one day and I was like, hey, buddy. He was like, however I can help, whatever I can do, whatever, I'm here. Just whatever I can do to help you guys out. And so he invited me to Sedona, and I went and spent a weekend in Sedona with him and at one of his retreats. And it was a great time. That's where I met Sal, his board members. His board members are great guys, and other people, to where it's like, man, it's just, they do a great job of just connecting veterans and giving them that, like he said, that purpose, right? Like there was veterans there that never did jiu-jitsu that like gave them a little bit like, hey, this is different. What is this? They beat us up with yoga every morning, but then we got to communicate and, fellowship with one another and build up and tell our stories and be there. Like I said, I sat there the whole weekend and let Sal Gonzalez sing to me. And I'm like, I'm not going to say nothing. Go ahead, buddy. You serenade me by the fire every night. It's all right. So that's how I met Chris, and that's how I got behind him. So what do you find, Chris? You started Veterans Breakthrough. How do you think that jiu-jitsu has helped you grow Veterans Breakthrough, though?
Yeah, it's really gives us a purpose, for lack of better words, is how do we keep those veterans engaged while almost in a way giving them this path to help grow themselves. So it's almost like they look at it and say, oh, this is free jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go do that. But we're packaging it with this idea of now we have a mentorship program. So we've grown quite a bit. So now we have mentors. We have, I think we've had 7 veterans that have completed the entire year of jiu-jitsu. And most of them have become mentors. We have an ambassador program as well. But the mentorship program is how do we work with these veterans along the way to make sure they're growing, not just in jiu-jitsu, but in life in general, because we're going to all be facing different things, whether it's family, finances, whatever it is. And the mentors know that they don't need to know the answers for everything, but they're really there to help see things from a different perspective, and I think this is really similar to, you go back to, Iraq. When I was there, I had my core group of guys that served alongside of me, and something was happening or I was having a shitty day, I would go sounding board, right? Let's have this talk and figure out how do we get through this. And then we keep grinding and push together. And I think that's what jiu-jitsu does. It's very similar. We get on the mats, we go grind, we go choke each other out. I call it controlled violence. We go out there. It's murder yoga is another one for it, so we go out there and we do this and and we go through this grind and we grow together, and it just builds this connection to where people start to open up. And, I know you experienced that probably in the Sedona. Since then, these retreats, I mean, you should see the amount of veterans that are coming in and being able to see the strength and vulnerability, being able to share their story of what's really holding them back in life. So it's been really great to be able to build that community that uplifts everybody in the organization.
I love this. I love everything about, so full disclosure, I have never heard Tony Robbins speak. I don't know anything about him. I know he's like a motivational speaker, and that's all I know. I would never have guessed, but I love the way you're describing it, because I think that veterans, honestly, we just have to change our perspective. I love your attitude about this, because we go from high school where we don't know shit, to the military where somebody gives us a fucking cool ass hat and says you're a soldier now.
Don't know shit.
Yeah, still don't know shit. Get out. Now we're grown ass adults, still don't know shit. And yeah, the only thing we know is, hey, I've been in the military and I have a little bit of discipline, theoretically. I love this. I love your perspective. I love how we have a guy on this show all the time. His name is Coach JP, Juan Perez. And his big thing is accountability for veterans. Take responsibility for yourself. And I love your perspective, Chris. I love what you're doing. I'm going to have to look up some Tony Robbins and stuff because I don't know anything about the guy.
Yeah, no. And, there was just a few things that really stuck out in my training with him that really helped me see this perspective. He's got what's called his 6 human needs. And really the idea behind that is certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, growth, and contribution. And those are the 6 needs. And the idea behind this is everybody needs to fulfill the first 4 in some way or another. And if we look at the military side of things, certainty, you have a roof over your head, you got food in your stomach, you got, where you're going to be stationed at for the next 3 to 4 years, or 2 to 4 years, I guess, depending what branch you're in and what your jobs are. But right? You even know when you're moving and where you're moving to next, right? Your next duty station. So you have that certainty in life that you're going to have a paycheck. You have the variety, right? The variety of going from base to base, duty station to duty station. You don't even have to leave. New people are coming and going. So there's variety all over the place in the military. You got significance, right? I mean, we're walking billboard. We have this uniform we put on. We're proud of it. Our medals on our chest, right? The slashes on our sleeves to show our time and our ranks and everything. And then we have connection, the camaraderie that we get from the military. And those 4 needs are just fulfilled in every way in the military. And then when we get out, we start to, okay, now we got to decide, how do we even get medical, right? How do we get healthcare? It was just given to us, right? Oh crap, I have something that I need a lawyer. How's that even work, right? So we start to have this uncertainty in life. Where do we even go, right? Then we get back to our home duty station for most of us, and then we have zero variety. I'm stuck here for how long? What's going to change? You go into a job and you get stuck into a job and nothing's changing and you lose that variety of life. And then you took off that uniform. You go from, duty station to duty station. People, you don't even need to know who they are. You can look at their rank and their medals or their rank and medals and everything. What respect you're giving them. In the civilian life, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares that you did so many tours in Iraq and you're this rank or you did this many years. Yeah. And so it's like you come in, now you have no significance. You're starting all over. You're the new guy at some job. And, half of those are kids that, weren't even born when you're fighting war. So, and then you got connection, right? And, it's really interesting because where I work now, it's really, we're all veterans. So we really have that camaraderie there where I work at, but it's that idea of, when the clock hits 4 or whatever time you get off, people punch out and go home. In the military, that didn't happen. Like the job needs to get done. You're staying there till midnight if you have to, right? And so that changes a lot. But these first 4 needs are completely gone. So when we get out, we're like, what are we missing in life? There's something missing and we can't put fingers on it. And it has to do with those 4 needs. And that's what really led me to Tony.
Based solely on this interview, I'm going to send every veteran I trip over your direction because I love your attitude and I love the things you're saying. There's so many.
When I met Chris, that was one of the things that drew me to him is creating meaning after the military, right? Because, and I've said it on here before, how we institutionalize when we join the military. And we get out and we're like prisoners. Why do prisoners go back to jail? Because it's the devil they know.
Yep.
Right. So we get out and we're like, what the hell am I doing? I have no meaning. I have no purpose. And that's one of the things, and Chris was able to articulate it very effectively that, let's change that thought process. How do you meet these core needs and how do you stop being a prisoner, and find meaning, purpose, those things, that leadership definition, right? That we're all drilled into us as leaders. But how many, Rob, you're a recruiter, how many guys came in after 4 years of service, got out and like, well, I want to go back in. Can you put me back in?
I was just thinking that when you were talking.
All the time, right? Because it's the devil they know. We're institutionalized. Now you get out after 20 years, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So that's why Chris articulated great, like, hey, let's help these guys change that thought process to, hey, how do I find that meaning, purpose, direction? You know?
This is one of the most enlightening shows we've had in a long time. This is awesome. I love everything you guys are talking. Chris, what branch of service were you?
I was in the Navy.
We'll look past
that. I was Navy active. I got out. I did the same thing. I went back into the reserves. I actually did a year with the Army. They had a program called the Tri-1.
Yes.
So the blue to green program. I went over, and then the Navy didn't want to bring me back in because I didn't want to be a cryptologist. I didn't want to be in the intel anymore. I wanted to go in as military police. That was kind of the path of life I was going to do. And the Navy said, nope, we're not going to retrain you. So the Army said, yep, we'll retrain you. So I did the Tri-1, and then a friend of mine, his wife was a Navy recruiter. He's like, if you come in as a master at arms, being a military police, you can get it was like a $20,000 bonus for the reserves. And I was like, oh, okay. so I went back over to the Navy as a master at arms and got a $20,000 bonus. I'm like, you guys could have probably saved money by just retraining me a long time ago. But, yeah.
That's
But I was one of those, right? I went back in after getting out because I missed it. I was exactly what you said.
It is the most common thing we see. What, Rock? I interrupted you. What?
The devil you know. That's what it is, right? And I say it's all the veterans I do therapy with. I'll tell them, it's like, you know why you don't have this? Because you were institutionalized. And you don't know what the hell you're doing now. And they're like, that's true. I was like, you're like a prisoner. Gets out of jail. He goes back because that's what he knows. It's comfortable. It's easy.
You say that to people whose head you're shrinking?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
These guys. Look, you got to be honest with people.
Oh, yeah. That's what's gotten me through 28 years of marriage, being honest.
It's interesting that you do that because it's people don't expect that. And they're like, wait, what? And then you put them into that position of now they're ready to receive information. What did he just say? Why is it? That don't make sense. You can't say that. And then now they're ready to receive. What about you're gonna deliver after that? Because they
got two choices. They can fire me or they can come back. There's your two choices.
Look, if I'm sitting on the couch and my therapist tells me, hey, you're institutionalized like a fucking federal prisoner, and dude, I would not be prepared for that statement is the way I would say this.
You'd probably come back, so it's all right.
Chris, I love what you're doing, man. This is one of the greatest stories I've heard in a long time. And the fact that you decided to add jiu-jitsu to it makes it fucking sexy as hell, dude. I love that. Tell us more about these retreats. How do veterans sign up for these retreats? Can they sign up for these retreats? Do they have to be recommended? What does that look like?
Absolutely. So right now, we're mainly in Arizona for our scholarship program. So we're really boots on the ground. We're really focusing here in the state of Arizona. There are other great organizations out there as well. Another one that does jiu-jitsu for veterans is We Defy. But we stayed focused really into Arizona for the scholarship side. So our mentor program with the scholarship is solely in Arizona right now. But the retreats are open to anybody. So we do those once a year. It's usually right after Memorial Day because we have a tournament right before that. So part of that's raising the funds to do the retreats. But it's open to everybody. Rocky mentioned Sal. Sal lives in Tennessee. He does jiu-jitsu himself. He's made every one of our retreats. Him and one of our board members were, they were deployed together in Iraq. So they really close knit. But he's been one of the greatest things to have there because he's gone through, a lot of the struggles and challenges and being an amputee, and he does jiu-jitsu. So kind of makes people say like, well, I don't feel like doing it today. He's over there with, one leg, and it's like, he's not making excuses. Get it done. So
it took me halfway through the interview to realize which Sal Rocky was talking about and recognize that we interviewed this guy like a month ago and was one of the greatest interviews we've ever had. Did you see it?
I did not. I'll have to check that out.
You do. It's one of the best interviews we've had. Homeboy ended up serenading us at the end of the interview.
Nice.
It was awesome.
He's always been a huge help with the fireside chats and the ambiance, obviously the music, and yeah, it's just amazing to have them there.
Yes, everybody's bringing up nub jitsu. I forgot about that part.
Tell us future vision, upcoming programs. Tell us about these tournaments you have.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the tournaments are another thing. It's open to everybody out there. I know a lot of in the beginning, everybody's like, well, I thought it was just for veterans. No, this is open for everybody. This is how we raise money for our veteran scholarship program.
I'm going to stop you real quick. I'm just going to let everybody know these tournaments, they hold them in an airplane hangar.
Yeah.
So they're outside in an airplane hangar.
Yep. So it's a pretty
like airplanes in it and shit.
Yeah.
We pull the airplane out. But it's a really neat. The sad thing is we may end up outgrowing that here soon because our tournament's over doubled in size over the last year.
Wow.
So we're up to like 300 registered athletes now, where our first one was 60. So it's been growing tremendously. We're hoping to hit over 400.
Over how long?
So we started that. This would be our 6th tournament that we've had coming up in November.
And you went from 60 to 400?
Yep. So
that's awesome.
Growing and we've reached out. We have about 40 different affiliates, so different academies that do jiu-jitsu here that are part of our program, so they can accept veterans that do scholarships. So we expect with more affiliates too, more people wanting to compete at our tournaments. So we're looking. I'm hoping around the 400 mark for our next tournament.
So I don't mean to interrupt you.
I know those tournaments are usually Memorial Day.
Go ahead. Memorial Day?
No, I was just going to say they're usually around Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
Why isn't my pen working? What do you call it? And those are at the airplane hangar in Arizona, like you were talking about. I love this. I thought I saw somewhere, I'm not sure who I saw it from. How does an organization become an affiliate?
Yeah, so again, a lot of our stuff's here in Arizona. We're getting a lot of input from out of state. Academies saying, "Hey, I want to be an affiliate." Out of state. We're really starting to look at that, how to expand outside of Arizona. But just becoming an affiliate, you don't have to be in the state of Arizona to kind of support what we do and get our name out there. That's how we're going to grow. But on our website, that whoever has up here, there's a page on there about the jiu-jitsu program. So that's where you can go in there for veterans to apply for the scholarship, as well as academies that are interested to learn more. There's a link there as well.
Very cool. Chris, what does the future look like for Veterans Breakthrough? What are you guys doing next?
Yeah, it's obviously we're staying focused here in Arizona. My goal is, where do we expand? How do we expand? And what we've gotten a lot of feedback on is because our board are all here from Arizona, kind of boots on ground. We have all the way down to, Tucson, all the way up to Flagstaff. We have veterans everywhere. And I think it's because we're all here so involved in the jiu-jitsu, here in the local community, that we've built a really good name for ourselves. So we're trying to figure out, how do we do that? How do we do that to move that to Florida? How do we move that to Texas? How do we, expand to other states, but keep the same feel that we've created here? And that's probably going to be one of the biggest challenges, but we're working on that.
That's all. I mean, hey, if we can help in any way, other than having you on a radio show, let us know. By all means, I'm sold. Yeah. And I've never even listened to Tony Robbins, so yeah, I'm sold. I'm interested. I love what you're doing, man.
Appreciate it.
How do folks apply?
On our website, right there, there's the link for the scholarship program. They'll go through an application process, kind of what it looks like. There's an application process. Our board of directors will go over it, verify veteran status, and we vote. Right now, we're about 30, I think around 30 to 32 veterans scholarships that we have currently active, and we have a cap that we're trying to get to of 40 this year. And that's, of course, as more funds come in, we can give out more scholarships. So that's been one of our biggest challenges, obviously getting more funds coming in and even getting more veterans to apply. Like we have 8 scholarships we can give out right now up to the end of the year. And then as people, finish their year, we can open up new ones as well. But that's our biggest thing is getting out there and getting our organization known.
Do you get any funding from like the Department of Veterans Affairs or any jiu-jitsu associations or anything like that?
And no,
where's your money come from?
Yeah, a lot of it's local donors in our tournaments that raise the money. One of our biggest donors has done a huge amount for us, and they've been so gracious. I can't even describe it with words. They've donated all our mats for our tournament. They recently just purchased our trailer that we can store our mats in and just hook up and go when we're ready to do our tournaments. So a lot of it's been just amazing donors that support us, all the athletes that come to our events and support us, the affiliate academies that help us push these tournaments. So we've received one grant from the state of Arizona. It was a $5,000 grant, but other than that, it's all been local donors and companies around us that support our mission.
I love that Marty is jumping up and down right now because you are really tugging at his heartstrings right now with things like integrity of the program and whatnot. Marty runs the Motorcycle Relief Project, which is an organization that we love on this show. As well as Veterans Breakthrough. But yeah, so he's feeling you, man. He's feeling you in a big way. Dude, running a nonprofit is extremely challenging.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Extremely. And people don't grasp it because especially with all the negative publicity right now with nonprofits and NGOs and things like that, people are holding on to their money. They're making it harder and harder to get donations. So I feel you, man.
And that's
how can we help?
That's one of the things we made the decision to stay in Arizona because people see us, they feel us, they hear us, so they can tell we're not one of those problems, How could you help? I mean, obviously this right here is a huge help, just getting out, sharing our mission, sharing what we're doing, getting out to new people. It's funny. I don't remember what Rocky saw when it got to him, but there was one time I was doing I'm not a social media guy, but I was doing the Facebook and trying to advertise to get our tournament out more. And I forgot to put that local filter on. So it went all across the United States. And I had all these people like, where's this tournament? Where's it? We want to come. We want to support. And I'm like, oh, crap. I was like, we're in Arizona. Come on out. But it showed me there's a lot of people out there that, are interested in what we're doing and wanting to know more. So getting the name out there is the biggest part.
Well, hopefully our listeners hear this and decide to throw all of their money at you. I love all right. I got one question and then I turn you over to Rocky. When you're in the Navy on Friday evening at 4 p.m., do you guys have final formation and everybody has to stand tall and the commander comes and talks to you?
No.
Oh, you guys don't do that? That's just an Army fuck up?
That's an Army thing.
So in the Army on Fridays, we do safety briefings, which is basically don't get a DUI and shit like that. Well, here on this show, we end every show with the safety brief. And we ask the guest, what would you add to our safety brief for the week, keeping in mind that it's Monday and whatever you say has to last all the way till Friday. So make it a good one.
Ooh, for a safety brief.
I'm trying to I'm listening to you talk and reading Marty's comments at the same time. And I don't want to hear any like whole, put a condom on and fucking don't drink and drive. We hear all that shit. Give me something good.
Right. A lot of what I do is around that positive thinking and personal growth. What I would say is do better every day this week than you did the day before. And that would be part of the safety brief.
Dude, that's awesome.
There you go.
Well, but I love this is my kind of shit, dude. I love this. Rocky, he's all yours.
Chris, hey, brother, we appreciate you coming on, talking with us, sharing Veterans Breakthrough. If you ever need anything, just reach out. You know me. I'll fly to Arizona. I love Arizona. We're good. So
absolutely.
But you get 30 seconds. Anything we missed, your elevator pitch right now. Let's go.
Yeah, no, let's find a way to take the veterans to the next level, wherever that is, whether they're suffering or challenging with things, or whether they're trying to get to that next level from, $100,000 a year to $1 million in their business. How do we help veterans to lift them up instead of do what the whole world around us does, which is pulls us down? That's really my pitch. Live life with purpose.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Well, everybody, Chris Howard. Check out Veterans Breakthrough. Support him all you can. Rob, it's all yours, buddy.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here. Sincerely, thank you for what you're doing. It means the world. So really, really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Monday, and thank you for what you're doing for the veteran community.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Later on, bud. Thank you. Rock, these are your friends? How do I fit into this category?
I don't think they consider me friends. Where they have met me, so
I'm like, how do you go from that guy to me? That guy's awesome.
Because I knew you back in the day. Like, we met when we were young, before all the gray, right? So.
Obligatory friendship.
You're like
Sean Dillard, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
You're like a growth on my ass. It just never goes away. So
an itchy pimple. I get it.
Yeah.
I absolutely get it. Let's do some Never Forgotten, and then call this an evening. I think we're getting close to the bottom here. Sean Dillard, you can easily catch the show on the rest of the show on YouTube. You can watch it anytime. You can go back to Facebook, and you can watch it anytime on Facebook. I edit the show tonight and edit out all the uhs and ums and things like that. And then tomorrow I hang it on the podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. So if you miss something tonight on the show while it's live, you can always go back and reference, and we do put show notes in. So if you need links and things like that, by all means we do. But I'm glad you're here, Sean Dillard. So thank you for being here. All right, let's bring up that Never Forgotten. So, ladies and gentlemen, this came from Allie. Allie is attending an event for this gentleman on Wednesday. On Wednesday, August 5th of 2026, in the city of Taunton, I'm giving a hero's welcome to U.S. Army Corporal Levesque, who will be returning home and being laid to rest in Taunton, Massachusetts. Our community is invited to line the streets at approximately 4 p.m., beginning at the intersection of Bay Street and Broadway, down on Broadway, somewhere in Taunton, Massachusetts, folks. If you're in the Massachusetts metro area, please, on Wednesday, head up over to Taunton and see if you can support and line the streets for this Army corporal who's being laid to rest in Massachusetts. And big thank you to Allie for bringing this to our attention so we can know about it. Folks, if you're listening to us and you have someone who you would like remembered in our Never Forgotten segment, it would mean the world to us if you would send them our name, or send us their name, and we will absolutely lift them up. Tonight, while you're saying your prayers, while you're eating your dinner and sitting down to say your prayers for dinner, please, by all means, remember not just Corporal Levesque, but Corporal Levesque's family and what it must mean to them to have him back home. So really appreciate it. Folks, what are we at, like month 4 in the Iran war, month 5, something like that? 400 casualties or something like that, and roughly?
4. There's only 4 casualties, and they took their names off, okay?
Yeah. Where can we send that info? Sean, you can send it to us on Facebook Messenger. You can send it to fromtheashes@gmail.com, whatever's easiest for you, and we'd happily raise the name of someone that is someone special to you. What do you call it? What was I going to say? What were we just talking about?
Oh, you said the Iran war casualties.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. Orsum, also need to look at Orsum Odyssey. Okay, we'll look them up. Thank you, Sean. That's exactly the kind of stuff we're looking for. I don't know if we talked about this last week on the show, how the Pentagon is kind of playing games a little bit with casualties and saying, hey, they weren't really part of the Iran war because we were on a part of a ceasefire.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Okay. All right. As long as the topic's covered, that's all that matters to me. Yeah. Other than that, what else you got for the safety brief, Rock? Nothing exciting for the safety brief, really?
If you want your central nervous system to be regulated, do jiu-jitsu. There you go.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Are you a Tony Robbins guy? I mean, I've seen him in passing, but I've never paid attention.
I know who he is. I've heard some of his stuff. I didn't really look like when I met Chris. That was the first time I had ever met someone be so passionate about him. Like you always hear or see people like on in different areas talk that way, but he was the first person I met face to face where they actually like, no, I worked and I did this and I thought it was great. And to lay it out, and he did a good job. I was like, oh, okay, maybe, because we all think Tony Robbins is just a money grab. You know, he gets a bad rap. But when he explained it, I was like, when I first met him, I was like, oh, okay, apparently it's did something good for you. It's life coaching at the best, you know. So
I'll have to dig a little deeper, man, because I never would have thought of that.
I had nothing but bad like thoughts about, you know, his stuff. Like, oh, it's just a scam, whatever. But then, I was like, I met Chris, and I was like, let me look into this. I was like, oh, this dude's pretty legit. You know, it's like CBT. You know, he's just cognitively getting people to change what they're thinking. I was like, good job.
Hell yeah. I love everything about this, man. This is awesome. This is really good stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to look it up, man. Because same as you, I would have, money grab and huckster. Same. I put him in the same category as Joel Osteen until this interview. So, I'm looking forward to seeing some of this stuff. So let's see where it goes. Next week, Comeback Yoga, folks. We are reaching out to a whole ton of veteran musicians to have on the show. Rock may have a female veteran musician coming on the show in the next week or two, month or two. Week or two? We only do this once a week. That would be crazy. What do you call it? Who else we got? We got some great guests coming up. Please support those that support us, folks. Go to thighhuggers.com. Use the code ONESHOT in all caps. You're going to get 30% off of your order from Thigh Huggers. It's not just shorts, folks. They also make jiu-jitsu rash guards and all kinds of cool stuff. Go to Combat Flip Flops. The only reason we have a sponsorship or a deal with Combat Flip Flops is because we believe in their mission, that we believe in what they do. They are fighting the war a different way, and I love what they're doing. Go to combatflipflops.com, enter the code ABOUTFACE. You're going to get 30% off your order, and we're going to get 15% of that. So you're keeping the lights on right now. You're allowing us to broadcast. We sincerely appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of the show. I sincerely appreciate you guys being here tonight. It means the world to us. If you have segments or things that you want us to talk about on the show, this show is for you. We just sit here and rumble at the gums for no reason whatsoever. If you have stuff you want to address, you have people you want us to bring on the show, send them our way. We'll absolutely have them on the show and talk to them. This was a great interview. I love talking to Chris Howard. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out Chris Howard and Veterans Breakthrough. I love what they're doing. Throw them all your money, as well as Motorcycle Relief Project, any leftover money you have. Thank you for listening tonight. Rock, you got anything before we call it a night?
No, and support his tournaments. Like I said, when I found out it was on a hanger, I was like, bro, can I come ref? It's like, I don't want to ref anything, and I want to ref in a hanger. It's like, so that's support his tournaments. If that's all you can do is support and go, you love jiu-jitsu, and you're like, hey, I just want to go to a tournament, and you're local, or you can drive there, or you want to take a vacation and just do a day tournament, go do it.
Dude, Arizona is only 16 hours from Colorado. Let's do this.
Oh, look, I can fly. I'm good. I got an airport like 10 minutes from down the road. We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Hey, have a great rest of your night. We really appreciate it. Thank you from the Ashes. Thank you from About Face Media. Thank you to our guest tonight, Chris Howard. Rock, it was really good to see you. Have a great rest of your night. Joe, thank you for holding the glue and being the glue and holding it all together. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night.